Hello and welcome to What the F Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Friday, February 26, 2021. Welcome to day 38. The Senate parliamentarian ruled that the $15 an hour minimum wage increase cannot be included in the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package. Elizabeth McDonough said the plan to gradually increase the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2025 was not compliant with the rules governing the budget reconciliation process that Congress is using to pass the bill using a simple majority. Democrats used budget reconciliation to keep Republicans from filibustering the minimum wage increase in the Senate. Representative Ilhan Omar, meanwhile, called for McDonough to be fired and replaced, which Republicans did in 2001 when the parliamentarian ruled against their plans. The White House, however, said it will not support overruling or firing McDonough. Despite the ruling, the House still plans to vote Friday to pass the stimulus relief package with the $15 minimum wage increase included and send it on to the Senate. Biden has promised to support a standalone bill to raise the minimum wage to $15, but it's unlikely to get Republican support. Roughly 11.4 million workers will lose unemployment benefits starting on March 14th. Moving on, Biden authorized airstrikes in Syria against two Iranian-backed militia groups. The Pentagon said the buildings belong to Iran-backed militia groups responsible for the recent attacks against American and allied forces in Iraq. The strikes included 7 500-pound bombs and were just over the border in Syria at an unofficial crossing at the Syria-Iraq border, which is commonly used to smuggle weapons and fighters. Meanwhile, Biden will not hold Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman accountable for approving the operation that led to the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. A declassified intelligence report executive summary states that we assess that Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman approved an operation in Istanbul, Turkey, to capture or kill Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. While the U.S. is preparing to levy sanctions against a group of Saudis implicated in the killing, although not Prince Mohammed himself, Biden's national security team advised against bringing criminal charges or imposing travel restrictions that would bar MBS from entering the U.S., saying it would be too complicated and that it could jeopardize Saudi cooperation on counterterrorism and confronting Iran. Biden's aides said the administration would instead not invite MBS to the United States anytime soon. On the campaign trail, Biden promised to punish Saudi leadership for its role in Khashoggi's murder in a way that Trump would not. The Biden administration is also planning to open another tent facility in Texas in the coming weeks to house migrant families and children. The temporary U.S. Customs and Border Protection facility in Del Rio, Texas, is similar to the soft-sided structure that opened in Donna, Texas 3 weeks ago to hold migrant family groups. The Del Rio tent facility also differs from the Carrizo Springs, Texas facility that opened this week, which Health and Human Services used to hold migrant children who cross the border without a parent. Moving on, the FDA Advisory Committee voted unanimously to recommend Johnson & Johnson's single-shot vaccination for emergency use. If the agency agrees, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine would be the third one that's cleared for use in the U.S., and it will be the first vaccine to require just one injection instead of 2. And finally, Mitch McConnell said he would absolutely support Trump as the 2024 Republican presidential nominee. Earlier this month, McConnell called Trump's role in the deadly January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol a disgraceful dereliction of duty, saying Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.